Liu Yuning's emotional roller coaster. The untold story behind the 2025 concert tour. Stop scrolling. You think you know the story of Liu Yuning's 2025 concert tour, right? You saw the headlines, record-breaking ticket sales, massive venues, breathtaking stage designs. But what if we told you that just 48 hours before the colossal Beijing concert, everything almost fell apart? Because behind the bright lights and sold-out arenas was a razor-thin moment where everything hung in the balance. A technical meltdown so severe it threatened to silence one of the most powerful voices in C-pop. Welcome to Celeb Buzz Insider, where we go beyond the headlines. Here we dive into the emotion, the pressure, and the unseen human stories that shape the stars we love. The fever that swept across Asia. From Shanghai to Shenzhen, from Tokyo to Bangkok. Liu Yuning's 2025 World Concert Tour wasn't just a musical event. It was an emotional phenomenon. For his fiercely devoted fan base, the MO fan, this tour wasn't merely about music. It was a journey of belonging. A shared victory, years in the making, reflecting their loyalty, their patience, and their emotional bond with Liu Yuning himself. And the final stop, the Beijing Grand Finale, wasn't just another date on the calendar. It was the heart of it all, a tribute to resilience, growth, and promises kept. More than a concert, a living dialogue. What made this tour so unique wasn't just Liu Yuning's voice, though that alone can fill a stadium. It was the intentional design behind every detail, crafted to turn a concert into a conversation. The organizers released something called Ning's On-Site Interaction Checklist, an interactive guide so detailed it resembled a ritual plan more than a concert program. Every fan received a free light stick, but not an ordinary one. Inside, it contained the 4-step light stick ritual, a personal journey unlocking hidden messages from Liu himself, transforming a simple souvenir into an emotional keepsake. During the medley of If There Were No You, and All Sad People Are Dancing, tens of thousands moved as one, creating a living wave of synchronized light and emotion. And during Miss You, fans raised the Ning Xiaokue, Ning's little sunflower, their phones glowing with the sunflower icon, symbolizing the warmth Liu Yuning has always brought into their lives. Everything was designed to make the audience not just watch but belong. The moment everything almost fell apart. Then came the unimaginable. Just 48 hours before the Beijing concert, during a final full-dress rehearsal, disaster struck. A system-wide failure hit the master control lighting rig, the very heart of the stage's visual synchronization. The technical team froze. The lighting system, responsible for orchestrating the grand Sea of Stars effect during Together with the Stars, had collapsed. This wasn't a minor glitch. It was a catastrophic failure that specialists estimated could take weeks to fully repair, far beyond the 2 days they had left. The emotional core of the show, the breathtaking moment when the entire stadium lights up like a galaxy, was now at risk. One insider recounted the scene in the control room. "We may have to pull the entire synchronization plan. We can't guarantee stability or safety." The words hit Liu Yuning like a thunderbolt. For him, the concert wasn't just performance. It was promise. Every interaction, every cue, every shared memory represented a thread connecting him with his fans. Threads that might now unravel. A test of heart. At this point, any other superstar might have accepted defeat, simplified the show, reduced the lights, moved on. But not Liu Yuning. He gathered his team and spoke with quiet determination. "If the system fails, we will not. We will solve this. But if we reach the point of no return, the fans will guide us." It wasn't a motivational line for the cameras. It was a declaration of faith. Because his entire tour revolved around one message, the mountain and sea journey, symbolizing an unbreakable bond between him and his fans, a vow to meet each other across every distance and every difficulty. In that spirit, a radical idea emerged. If the lighting system couldn't be trusted, they would make the fans the lighting system. The contingency plan no one believed would work. The plan sounded impossible, even reckless. Instead of relying on the malfunctioning control rig, Liu Yuning himself would lead the visual cues live, using only his voice, his rhythm, and his gestures. During Together with the Stars, he would personally signal the audience when to raise their flashlights, when to hold them steady, and when to wave them like starlight across the arena. Tens of thousands of fans. No automation. No synchronization software. Just one voice guiding one sea of hearts. If it worked, it would be history. If it failed, it could become chaos. The technical team gave the system a 70% chance of partial stability. But Liu Yuning made his decision clear. Trust the people. Trust their love. That's our true connection. The night of the Beijing miracle. February 2025. The night was crisp, and the air outside Beijing's National Stadium pulsed with anticipation. Inside, 60,000 fans waited, some holding handmade banners, some trembling with excitement. The concert began flawlessly. Song after song hit with emotional precision. But everyone knew what was coming, the moment. The Together with the Stars performance. As the intro music swelled, Liu Yuning took a slow step forward. The pre-programmed lights didn't trigger. There was silence, a pause that felt eternal. Then he looked out at the sea of faces, closed his eyes and sang the next line. His hand lifted, a silent command. And instantly, like a living organism, the entire stadium lit up. One by one, tens of thousands of phone flashlights rose into the air, creating the most breathtaking human galaxy imaginable. No computer could have timed it better. Every fan followed his voice, every movement echoing the rhythm of his emotion. When he held a note, the lights stood still, glowing steady and strong. When his voice trembled with passion, the lights rippled, like waves of empathy flowing through the crowd. It was flawless imperfection. It was the beauty of trust made visible. A turning point that defined the tour. That single performance became the emotional climax of the entire tour. Not because of special effects, but because of what it represented: human synchronization over mechanical perfection. In a world obsessed with technology, precision, and digital spectacle, Liu Yuning and the MO fan reminded everyone that the most powerful connection is emotional, not electronic. That night, they didn't just sing about the stars. They became the stars. After the show, videos of the moment flooded social media. Fans called it the night the stars listened back. Others simply called it magic. Even the stage crew, who had spent sleepless nights trying to repair the broken system, were moved to tears. They realized they hadn't lost control. They had simply passed it into better hands. More than a performance, a legacy. The Beijing concert will forever be remembered not for its perfect lighting, but for its human heartbeat. It became a story of resilience, improvisation, and trust, the very essence of Liu Yuning's journey as an artist. Every song that night felt reborn. In As Promised, the shared city coordinates displayed on the LED screens became living proof of a global community bound by love. In Yesterday's Youth, when fans sent in their personal memories tied to August 17, 2019, the date marking one of Liu's earliest milestones, the arena filled with nostalgia, laughter, and tears. The fans weren't just watching a concert. They were co-authoring a story, one that would be retold for years. The real lesson behind the curtain. The untold story of Liu Yuning's 2025 concert tour isn't about a lighting failure. It's about what happens when failure meets faith. It's about an artist who refused to let a technical crisis break the emotional bridge between him and his fans. And it's about an audience who proved that the greatest technology of all is the human heart, synchronized through music. In the end, the crisis didn't destroy the show. It defined it. And for those who were there that night, the message was clear. When the lights go out, real stars shine brightest. Glowing star. Join the conversation. What unscripted moment from Liu Yuning's 2025 concert tour moved you the most? Was it the breathtaking sea of stars in Beijing, or the quiet tears during Yesterday's Youth? Share your memories below, because stories like this deserve to live on. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another exclusive deep dive from Celeb Buzz Insider, where we uncover the human stories behind the biggest names in C-pop and global entertainment. Until next time, keep your light shining. This is Celeb Buzz Insider. And this was the untold story of Liu Yuning's 2025 emotional miracle.